Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the T20, it's an American Tier 7 medium tank, and this one's located on the north spawn of Cliff, and it's under the command of Heavy 999. Now, what can I tell you about T20? Well, it's supposed to be a replacement for the M4. It did have some improvements in terms of very good penetration with the top gun and good alpha damage, but it did have some drawbacks as well, and you'll probably see some of this in the battle. Game started. Now, the top gun for this tank is a 90mm. Let's see if he's got that. Yes, he has. And you can see there the alpha damage of the 90mm 240 alpha with penetration of 160mm of armor. So he's going to be doing a fair bit of damage to the enemy. And one of the good things about the T20 is it's fairly fast compared to the EZ8, which it was supposed to replace. And that means it can get around the battlefield, but it's got very poor armor. I'm afraid the armor on this vehicle is paper thin, which means anything that hits it is probably going to go through. So you don't really want to get hit by the enemy if you can help it. Okay, he's taking it up to the center line. Going to peek over the top of the mound here and see if there's any enemy in sight. It's got a Cromwell for company. Oh, spotted a couple KV2s, and they're bound to be looking in this direction to try and derp him. You can probably fool them into derping. Oh no, that didn't work because he got hit by the Arty instead. There's a Burt out there. Oh, one of them did fire by mistake, and the KV2s have been receiving fire. And a lovely shot there. Now, one of the problems is the reload time. I'm afraid it's about 9 seconds or thereabouts, and the DPM is much lower than the EZ8. But that penetration, just look at that, massive damage, and he's been hit by the Burt again. He needs to get out of there because that Burt's got the range on him, dialed in on his position, and so long as he stays here, he's going to be subject to more rounds from that 4.5-inch howitzer. But he got a shot into that, critical damage on the 3001P. Yeah, one of the criticisms of the T20 is the fact that it has very poor DPM compared to the EZ8. But when you can do that, and he destroyed the track, and so he's picked up damage assist there. Now, can he get a shot on that? Yes, he does. 225, low roll, but it's still good. Obviously, the Burt is not paying attention to him because I'm not sure if he can actually be seen by the Burt anymore. Oh, he was seen now, so the Burt will be paying attention. He puts a round into the KV2. Needs to pull back before the Burt starts firing. Or at least get into an RT safe position behind one of the rocks. If he stays still for too long, the Burt will home in on him. Every time he pops up on the Burt's radar, the Burt's going to be thinking, oh, got the side of the turret on the KV2 there, but took a round in return from the AMX 1357. Luckily, it was only one round from that 57mm gun, but we know where he is, and we can probably get a shot in return. Oh, KV2's looking this way. Don't go there. Yep. He's good that he stays in third-person view a lot of the time, which enables him to spot what's going on around him, any likely targets. I've noticed quite a few players, including Heavy 999, have their sniper mode on either their middle key or they're quickly able to press the button, and that means they can quickly flip from third-person view outside the tank to sniper view to actually get the accurate shot in on the target. And once they've done that, they can then switch back to immediately see what's going on around them. Well, we've got a T-37 over the other side of the map. Can we go down into this tip? Get a shot at him. Oh, no, missed him. But we were seen. And unfortunately, we just lost one of our tanks around that side. I think he was hurt by the KV2. The T-52 was killed. Don't want to stay in one place too long up on top of here, because Arty will work on you if they can see that you're stationary. Where's that SU-122-44 down there? Can we get a shot? Yes! Through the roof. Low roll though. Oh, we were seen. Pull back, pull back. Don't stay in the same spot or same general area too long. Going for the SU-122 again, and that one bounced off the sloped armour at the front of the vehicle. It's also a good idea never to dwell in a place for too long, because the longer you stay there, the more likely that A, the Arty is going to see you, or B, somebody else is going to take a pot shot at you because you stayed behind too long. Well, he's gone over the edge, puts around into the T-37, and that severely damages him, makes him a one-shot. We can get one more shot. Oh, don't need to, because KV2 on our team just dirked him. And then we got a Nashorn. That's almost a Stuart Mill. I was confusing my tank destroyers there. Can we get an accurate shot? Very close. It's amazing he wasn't spotted there by the enemy, but I guess he's just probably too far away, and there's nobody spotting that Stuart Mill at the moment. Stuart Mill's firing at him, so he must be spotted by somebody else. Okay, well, we're one tank down, two tanks down on the enemy at the moment, so we're going to have to work hard to save this battle. Well, clawed one back. The Stuart Mill was taken out by our Tiger P, who's nearly full health, I think. Ah, we spotted the Bert. There he is. Hello, Bert. Remember us? Oh, he tried. He tried. He really tried, but he's motoring now. He needs to get out of there quick. Yep, and that's the end of him. And we've got an AMX 1357. Now, I think that's also a tank that fired at us a short while ago. So I think what we're going to do is pay him a visit as well. Now, where is that SU-122-44 as well? Because he's up there. Oh, we got hit by one round, but we fired one back and we got a better alpha on him. Took him out. So, 2 kills now for Heavy 999. And they're one tank up on the enemy. There's only 3 enemies left. One of them's Tiger 1. The other's an SU-122-44 and the SU-100. We know the 122-44 is badly damaged because Heavy 999 got a round into him. In fact, got 2 rounds into him, if I recall. Okay, just changing position. Can we see anything from the top? We know the SU-122-44 was seen at the base of this cliff. You need to be careful when coming down here sometimes. You overcommit, you could go flying off this hill and badly damage yourself in the process. Okay, he's managed to save all his hit points. Now, the enemy does have 2 tank destroyers. The worry is, of course, that SU-122-44 has got a bead on us. He's got that 122mm gun. If he has, then he can do a very, very high alpha shot. We've still got 472 hit points, but we don't want to lose it in just one shot. And remember, the SU-100 is Pistat Simu, which means the end to effing anything. If he can get you... Oh, there is the SU-100. He was up in the sniper's nest, but he wasn't paying attention. And apparently he's not paying attention now either. And he's just allowed us to put a high roll into him. He's coming down though. Now, bad reload. Remember, as I said, it's got a bad reload, and it's also got a bad toll traverse around targets. And the SU-100 should have tried to push him off the cliff, but it didn't work. And Heavy 999 gets hit the penultimate kill of the game. So there's one enemy still out there, the SU-122-44, badly damaged. He's actually back at our cap. In fact, yep, we're going to rush back there and hopefully we'll get the kill. We've got the T-34-85M sitting in the enemy cap. And it looks like the SU-122's moved out of the cap, so might be a good idea just to go to the far side of this plateau and see if you can spot the SU-122, because he's probably waiting in ambush. Oh, there he is. He's after the Tiger P. And the Tiger P just ended his game and wins for us. So, that's the T20. Let's have a look at the end of battle stats. And it's an ace tanker for Heavy 999 in the T20. Not only that, but he got his 2nd mark of excellence during that game. So he's certainly proved that he can actually handle this tank very, very well indeed. And he did, actually. I was very surprised that he was able to get around that SU-100 as well as he did, because the one thing that T20 has, which is worse than the Easy 8, is poor hull traverse. It doesn't go around its enemies very, very quickly compared to the Easy 8. It's much better circling the enemy and getting shots into them from behind them. But he also picked up a Duelist medal for that game, a Fire for Effect, a Bruiser medal, and the Epic medals. He picked up the High Caliber for dealing the most damage, and the Confederate for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else on his team. And the win 8 for that game, 8,766, which is very nice indeed. Super Unicum standard. So let's have a look at the team score. Top of the table, 2,949 hit points of damage from that game alone. The next highest scorer was, actual fact, the SU-12244, 2,301. And after that came T29 with 2,213. When it came to kills, it was actually that T29 who did better. He got 4 kills. T20 only managed to get 3. So did the SU-12244. And when it came to base XP, well, because he was tier 7 and he was working his butt off, spotting for his team as well as actually getting shots into the enemy, he got 1,282 base experience points, whereas the T29 only managed 981 and the T3485 got 953. He fired 20 rounds of that 90mm gun. He got 16 direct hits and 14 penetrations, damage of 2,949 hit points, of which 482 hit points were at more than 300 meters. He received 5 hits from the enemy and all of them penetrated. Remember what I said about the armor being really paper thin, absolutely terrible. Anything that hits it really is basically going to go through, but then you do get that fast mobility, and that sort of compensates for that. He did receive 2 hits as a result of splash damage as well. Those came from the Burt, the FB304, but he got the compensation of taking the Burt out in return. He spotted 5 enemy vehicles by going up onto that little mound to see what's on the other side. He damaged 10 of the enemy, 2/3 of the enemy team, and killed 3 of the enemy, 1/5 of the enemy team, and caused damage assistance of 811 hit points. On a premium count, he earned 49,620 credits. He got 7,443 for completing the mission and events. This was at Christmas, so his total came to 57,063 credits. After repair and ammunition resupply, he actually took away a deficit of 2,571 credits, and the reason for that was, I'm afraid, that he was using premium ammo. But then he did get the hits and did the alpha, so that's what counts. That's why you get the damage, and that's why you get the high caliber. He received 2 bonds for getting the awards, the Confederate and the high caliber, and he also earned 1,923 XP, 288 for completing the mission events, took away 2,211 experience points altogether. So, a very good round there for Heavy 999 in the T20. Now, is it a good tank? Well, probably. It's one of those ones you have to go through, but I would say it's not as great as the Easy 8 in terms of its ability for tier. Tier 7, remember, so it's going to be facing some serious opposition, especially if it's lower tier and it's facing a tier 9 enemy. Even if you've got that alpha damage and that good penetration, you're still going to find it difficult, because if they get one shot on you, it's going to go straight through the hull. And so, not a great tank overall, and it's a good job that it was replaced by other tanks such as the T25s and the Pershing, and also the T26 in the end. So, yes, it's a intermediate stage, you could say. But anyway, if you enjoyed that video and the beeps, I'm sorry I forgot to switch off something, and that's why you get those beeps intermediately. I will switch off Facebook because I get too many notifications by far, so you won't get more interruptions during the following videos. But if you enjoyed this one, please give it a like and do subscribe to our channel, and hopefully it'll be your replay that I'll be featuring in the next video.